Oh,
And with this, it feels like we're looking up at the sun.
This will
you're
be the best interview ever. 1K, good morning, good afternoon, good evening, everybody. All right, well, let's do it, shall we? Hello, everyone. Welcome to, well, our first episode of Let's Talk Games. We're here with Christine and Super Duper Garrett Cooper from Super Duper Game Company, and we met them at PAX South in San Antonio. He's down chilling with Pantera, who's not here yet. He's stuck at work, but we met them when we met you guys when we were walking around, just looking at all the cool games out there.
You just appeared out of nowhere. It was fantastic.
It was fun. It was crazy fun. So wow, we're glad that you guys can be here and you were available for our first episode. So we're honored.
It feels really
honored.
good to be here.
Thank you for having us. Yeah.
You're welcome. So well, first of all, you guys are from where?
Originally Corpus Christi, Texas, so South Texas.
Okay, so
lived in Austin for a while, did California for 2 years, and now we're back in Austin.
Yes.
glad to see you recovered.
Yes. Feels really nice to be
Yeah, and welcome back to Texas. Even though I'm here in Virginia. But,
right. But still, welcome back anyways.
So we met you at the show and discovered that your game was already available, already on Steam. So we raced back to Pantera's and we downloaded the game and played it the very first night after we met you guys and fell in love with the game. It's just, and so my son's totally addicted. Hates me.
Oh no, I'm sorry. I take no responsibility for any of this.
But in other news, he's quite good at the game. So we got a lot of cool stuff to talk about. We got a list of great questions. So I'm here with Cerula. Cerula is part of our crew. Now, where are you based out of, Cerula?
I'm currently at the Netherlands, in a small place north of Amsterdam.
And what time is it there?
2 a.m.
2 a.m. Yeah, we are slacker here. At 2 a.m., yeah, I'll be going. Anyway, wow, we got so much good stuff to cover here. I'm so glad you guys could make it. So you started Black Ice when exactly?
When we moved to California, like we didn't have many friends out there, and so didn't have much to do. And my friend was like, "Hey, you should check out Unity," and so I did, and we just started building from there. It's been a lot of fun.
So that would have been, I think, first little baby steps of the game started in, I think, June or July
like mid 2013.
2013. Yeah, because we moved in April, March, February of 2013. We moved in early 2013, okay. So it was pretty much right away.
So you're coming up on your 3-year anniversary for the game.
Yes.
Wow,
yeah, but we didn't even show it to anybody until like later. And, like,
it was like an under wraps.
Yeah,
just for him sort of thing.
I don't think we showed our kids to the rest of our family for at least a good 2 years.
Yeah, you keep that stuff. You wait. You wait until it's.
And my wife still doesn't show me off to her family, so yeah. I get that.
You're getting the Black Ice treatment.
So Black Ice. Well, we got Cerula and I have a lot of questions. Pantera sent me a bunch of questions. He's still at work. Hopefully he'll be soon. But Cerula, you want to kick off the list of questions there?
Oh yeah, sure. Black Ice. The name intrigues me. Where's it come from?
Yeah, I'll let you tackle that one.
All right, so Black Ice, it's an old cyberpunk term. So ICE stands for Intrusion Countermeasure Electronics. So the ICE are the spiders and all of the bad guys in the game that are trying to kill you. And Black Ice is the kind that's like extra deadly.
All right.
So not related to the weather.
Okay.
Which people think it's about just like black ice on the road. I've gotten a lot of people.
I mean, the phrase is a reference to that,
right?
But yeah, no.
But no.
Well, it's nice to know that ICE actually is an acronym for something.
Yeah.
At first, I thought when I entered the game Black Ice, I'm like looking at black ice cubes.
See, maybe we should just market it that way. Get the best of both worlds. Like, no, it is. You're right. It is about ice cubes. See, there's squares.
It's very cold in cyberspace.
Yeah.
Well, the game. I mean, first tell us what the game is about.
So you are a hacker in cyberspace hacking the servers of large corporations. So each building you see is the physical representation of a server. And so you are hacking it, trying to get information, secrets, loot out of the server, out of the corporation to keep for yourself. So really going for like the movie Hackers and, you know, a lot of the books that Garrett was referencing, Snow Crash and Neuromancer and stuff, like that really kind of 80s, 90s cheesy cyberspace aesthetic. Like we wanted to be like, this is what hacking looks like, and you're in it. Like cyberspace is a location that you can walk around in. So that's what you're up to in the game.
Yeah, well, I'm just glad that your inspiration for the game came from books.
Yes.
Reading is fun. Everyone should read.
Yeah. Hear that, kids? Play video games, but you can read books too. It's cool.
And we get a lot of people who think it's inspired from what's the game that
Shadowrun.
Shadowrun. Everybody, is this like a shadow? Like, Shadowrun was your inspiration?
Yeah, you know what? I heard that repeatedly when we were at your booth at the
we get Shadowrun a lot. Lately, we've been getting Trigonometry Wars? Well, that's not what it's called. Geometry Wars. I went way too intense with the math there.
Kinda.
We get that a lot. It's interesting to see like what people think we're going, like how they fit that into the games that they play or the books that they read or the movies they watch. Like people come at us with some really weird, like, this reminds me of this thing, and I'm like, I don't even know what that is, but I'm glad. I'm glad you can compare it to something.
Well, hacking corporate servers is obviously something that all of us would dream about doing.
Yeah.
But never admit to.
Yeah, especially in this day and age.
Yeah, and we make it a point to make all the corporations cartoonishly evil in the game. And I think early on somebody had asked Garrett about like
where the good corporations?
Like why aren't there any good corporations? Like, what if I'm hacking one and they end up being good? And we're like, actually, if you read it, they're all terrible.
Like, you're not going to accidentally hack an orphanage.
Yeah, and that goes a lot with the with the cyberpunk kind of universe of like, there are no good corporations.
Well, I've noticed so I've noticed something. I like to read all the info boxes on all the buildings. It's something I enjoy. My son, he doesn't care. He just
That's why they're optional.
Yeah, exactly. You don't have to read them. You don't have to do that before you hack. You can hack it and then it goes away and you never have to worry about it. And that's something we try to keep that in mind when we make the game or, come up with new ideas for the game, is that there are two very different camps of people and play styles. People who want to read everything and the lore is all they care about and they eat it up. And then people who just want to hack servers. So we're trying to serve both without upsetting the other. And I feel like we're hitting a really happy medium with it now with the lore items and also how we plan on moving forward with that.
Yeah, I think the game covers a lot of both sides of that. It's certainly when I'm playing with my son, we just go in and destroy stuff. But
yeah, and there's nothing wrong with that. Like that's honestly, despite writing for the game, I don't read any of it. I just go through and I play and just
you've already read it. Is the thing.
Yeah. There's also that. Like I don't need to. It's not a surprise to me. But I like jumping in and just getting big guns.
I'm glad hacking is not as fun in real life as it is in your game.
Yeah. We get very few over the years have people been like, well, this isn't really what hacking's like. I think maybe 2 or 3 people ever.
I think everybody knows that we know that this isn't what hacking is.
One of them was
really
actually at PAX South. It was a guy who he said does hacking for a living. He's a
professional hacker.
A professional, a real hacker.
Yeah, okay, paid.
And his friend was watching the game, was like, "Oh, this is really cool," and he's like, "Yeah, but this isn't what it's like." And I was like, "All right, guy, get out of here."
We know, dude.
It's not for you. But yeah, most people seem to appreciate the cheese, which is good.
That is good.
We'd be in a lot of trouble if there were people who didn't appreciate the cheesiness of it.
Yes.
Pantera, welcome, man.
Hi.
He looks really focused. I didn't want to.
No, well, I messed up the stream, so you might have to change the boxes.
Oh
Yeah,
no.
that's what
Now I'm
right
looking
now.
at the boxes.
Oh. Hi, everybody.
I didn't know if you were waving at me or
Everybody.
them.
Everybody.
I'm actually, you're all
All of
over,
us.
over here, so I'm waving at this little black thing on my desk. Hi, little black thing.
So,
Oh, what I miss? Have fun?
No, you missed. Well, obviously you didn't miss all the fun with Skype.
Yeah.
Oh.
You did miss me trying to figure out how to set up a lamp.
A lamp?
Yeah, that was all before the
Oh.
show started. I was trying to.
We've never
We
streamed
don't
with
really
lighting
do.
before.
Yeah,
so.
we never really do face cam. I think the few streams we've done, like when we're being interviewed, has just been our voice, and we have a really nice microphone. So but we don't have like a nice webcam, and it was like pitch black. So Garrett's just turning the exposure up on our webcam, and yeah.
Oh, nice.
So if we look
Ignore me.
like
I'm not eating
we look
French
like a
fries.
found footage.
I am not
or-
eating French fries, by the way.
Ooh, from where? Don't tell me.
Chester's.
What? I said don't tell me.
Oh.
I was gonna say Jack in the Box because it looks seasoned, but they
That
weren't
was my
curly.
guess,
They weren't
too.
curly.
Oh,
I
you guys
thought
have
maybe
Jack
God
in the
is
Box out there?
Yeah.
You were here.
Didn't go to a Jack in the Box. I never saw a Jack in the Box out there.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna
I didn't
take you to
know.
Jack
I didn't know
in the
Jack in the
Box.
Box was a thing that doesn't occur naturally in the world. Like a Whataburger, like that's.
Oh yeah, see,
Yeah,
that's
no,
that's
Yeah,
the-
but
right.
no, I
Those
didn't
are
think
good.
Jack.
But
Jack.
them Yankees don't know about Whataburger.
Nope.
Oh no, we do. Yeah,
Sad.
we got that.
No,
We
you're
dream of
because
it.
you're an Aggie.
Oh, are you?
Me? Yeah, I sure am.
Really? Uh oh.
Damn you,
I would
Pantera.
do it too, so.
Yeah, Pantera called you out. This stream is over.
Yeah, we're so finished. Wait, hold on. Beep. Turned off Pantera.
Do you want to put us in one box? I feel bad that it's just like double
Yeah, well, that's what I'm gonna do.
me, and double him too, I suppose.
All right, so that's
Could
good for
like
now.
split down the middle and put two little boxes.
It's fun. I love editing these things on the fly during the middle of a show. It's always good.
People
fun.
love it.
Yeah.
People
And
love
then-
behind the scenes stuff.
That, yeah,
It's like the
actually.
DVD extras. Like,
True
how
story.
did they make the stream? Yeah, this is how.
And then, so Cerula, wow, man, it's got tiny. Skype, I
I
tell
keep
you.
looking at our Skype instead of like the stream, and I'm like, he looks fine.
All right, so anyway, so this was
Good enough.
So we got a great list of questions for you guys. Cerula was just getting started on those. We want to show off some gameplay a little later. So we're set up for a multiplayer. Can't
You
wait
should
to.
put the game in that little window in the bottom.
My son's here. He's gonna crush you guys.
Oh my god.
I
Are we
believe
gonna
it.
do PvP? Because.
I've never played PvP before, so
What?
no, I've actually never
Wow.
done PvP with our games. That's you can.
Even I've done PvP in your game. Everybody knows I suck at that. But
Yeah, I know.
We'll have to get and bring the controller out here, but we'll figure it out.
You can do just quietly press WASD.
and we also have some trailers, or a trailer that you guys have for you.
No.
But before we do that, no, I'm gonna play the. Yeah,
This is my punishment,
So,
isn't it?
yeah,
For
so
not
for
for not
every-
doing my job
This
and
is
getting
the-
a better trailer.
This is the trailer for the 0.4 release. The game is currently at
I'm so sorry.
0.7, almost 0.8. So like we're.
Well, we've got a our interview that we did with you guys. Quick, it's short, but I want to play that because we
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, go for it.
Had a good time.
You can watch me cringe while I watch myself on
Hi, this is Gio with the Gladiators Cafe. We're
I
here
like it
at
so
Super Duper Game Company with Christine and their awesome game, Black Ice.
Typing.
Tell us a little bit about your game.
So Black Ice is a cyberpunk hacking game. You're a hacker, you're in cyberspace, hacking the servers of large corporations. So each building that you see on the screen is a different server that you can hack, owned by a different corporation.
Now, your game went into development when?
About 2 years ago, a little over 2 years ago.
So you were here last year.
Different server that you can hack, owned by a different corporation. It's come a long way since then. I think it looks a lot prettier, it looks a lot better, it runs a lot better. So that's something we can keep going even for next pack stop. It's going to look even better.
Well, we bought the game here at a discount.
Yes.
Downloaded it
No,
last night.
I know what that
and
is. Don't do
is
it.
insanely fun.
Spare.
That's the other
So
trailer.
I'm here with Pantera. He's rocking it.
Definitely looks like he already knows what he's doing.
No, I know what that is.
So tell us about some of the weapons that you got to hack.
So for the things that you mentioned, we started y'all out with a lot of really cool weapons, just to kind of get an idea of all the different things we offer. One of them is we call it the Disco Death Ball. That's our newest weapon. So it's a disco ball that shoots out lasers. We have our disco ball balloon.
Oh, awesome. It looks like a satellite.
Yep. We have EMP waves that you can send out that'll fry enemies. If you're doing a lower level building like this, it might actually just kill them all in one shot. When you get to higher level buildings, the enemies have more health. It'll just kind of freeze them all in place. Yeah.
Okay, all right.
We have guns that shoot fire that'll set them on fire. We have guns that shoot ice that will freeze them. We have bouncy balls that bounce off of walls and the floor and things like that. We have this guy right here, which is a disc, so we can watch him do that. It's like a disc that kind of boomerangs around.
So is this a single or multiplayer?
Both. So we have full single player, and then we have multiplayer online. 10 players co-op or PvP.
Excellent. PvP, wow.
Yeah.
All right, so we got to try that.
Yeah, so PvP works. It's a red team versus a blue team. You spawn at 2 randomized points in the map, and you're trying to be the first to finish, but also you can go and ruin the other team. You can kill them, things like that. So.
One thing we noticed about, one of the advantages of your art style is the game is wicked fast.
Yes.
It is so responsive. And it's beautiful. It's
thank you.
Yeah, it's like Tron Plus.
Yes, that's what we were going for. Going for hackers, going for like that real, 80s, early 90s kind of feel, like the real kind of idealized, cheesy.
I feel when we're playing this, I feel like I'm in one of these movies.
That's exactly good. That's exactly what we're going for.
So, Pantera, tell us about the gameplay, man. How do you like it?
It is wicked quick. The weapons are, the biggest thing I like about this one is the weapon choice is like defines your playstyle. Like this is my favorite. It's a little disc that it doesn't have the range, but it has 100% accuracy. And look, little power ups there. The laser guns are fun, but you get all sorts of weapon choices.
So what level is your character so far?
Right now at home?
At home.
5.
So Christine, what's the max level in your game right now?
Right now, so the way the base game works, the end boss is level 100, so you're trying to get strong enough to take that on. But when you start a game at home, you can actually choose what the lowest building starts at. So you could have the lowest building be 100 and go up to 200 or go up to, whatever. So it never ends. You're
always challenging yourself.
And stuff. We do have a cap on talent points, so I can't remember exactly what level it is, but right now, eventually your character will stop leveling, but you can still make it better through other things, such as the weapons. The weapons are always going to be better. There's always going to be a bigger gun. There's always going to be better lasers, things like that. If anyone's familiar with Diablo, the way the loot works in that game, our loot is all, the stats on it are randomly generated. So you'll find weapons that have a lot of cool passive effects that give your character benefits, things like that, and that's always going to change. So it's always going to be something different.
What about updates for the game?
We try to update as often as possible. Garrett has a full-time job, so and that depends a little bit on how that's going. How much time we can dedicate to this.
Well, we love the indie game development. It's
we try really, really hard to push updates out. We had our last big update in October. This game that you're playing, like that you're seeing right now, is the patch that's going to be pushed hopefully on Monday. But definitely this week.
What kind of updates?
So right now it's going to have the big thing. Let me see if you have it in your inventory. Actually, you don't. Right now the big thing we're doing is we're adding lore items. So trying to get more of the backstory to the game, and that's my job. I'm head writer, so I'm doing all the quests and stuff like that.
Oh, excellent.
So there's eventually going to be actual story progression to the game. So right now we're getting our feet wet, so when the patch comes, it'll be little chunks of information that when you hack a building, you'll find sensitive information. You can read it, get a little idea of the universe that Black Ice takes place in, and then sell it. So basically you're a hacker, you're getting sensitive information, you're selling it for credits. So
excellent.
Yeah.
So tell us how we can get the game.
So it's on Steam. $15 on Steam, PC, Mac, Linux. If you are here at PAX South, it's $10 and you get a free poster. Everybody likes posters.
Yeah, cool.
Yeah.
Well, Christine, thank you so much.
Thank you.
Can't wait to show this game off on Twitch. Signing out. This is Gio. Cheers, everybody.
Well, so we had an absolutely fabulous time. The interview was so much fun. So Pantera and I ran around, interviewed, I don't know, what, a dozen or more?
Something like that.
Indie developers. Yeah, it was good stuff.
Y'all were busy.
Yeah.
Yeah, and we still have to get a lot of those interviews out and published. But yeah.
He's sticking me with the sharp stick, like under the table, like, hello.
Hey, that's you.
Wow. So lots of questions. Cerula, you want to hit the next one on the list there?
Yeah, sure. Is this the first game that you've developed?
Yes.
Yes.
The first one I've ever showed to anybody.
And the first one we've ever worked on together.
Yeah.
I always like to, when people ask that question, I like to bring up the Android game he made that one time.
Okay.
Because it's really bad.
Okay, so back when I started doing that, there weren't no frameworks on Android, so I was doing like direct Android things. So I had to figure out how to like render a texture and then like how to put it on a grid. It was like a terrible dungeon crawler.
Yeah, you were like walking through this dungeon and you were a dude holding a sword.
There were no animations.
There's no animations, so he handed it to me one day and was like, "Here you go. What do you think?" So there's an enemy that's just like a green circle, like a blob. And I'm like, how do I kill it? And he's like, you just walk up to it. So I'm just like, so I'm just this dude with a sword just like walking and hitting like this, and then it dies, and he's like, hey, good job, like you did it. And I'm like, awesome, like please stop.
So was that before or after you guys got married?
That was before.
Before,
yeah.
I think. Yeah. Yeah.
Might be a deal breaker here.
That was back when I knew to be nice, yeah. when I still had it in me. But yeah.
Hey, honest feedback is an important part of game development.
True.
You know?
It's exactly.
And I'm a lot more honest about feedback now. Which I think has been
brutally
obviously
so?
I don't like to think I'm ever brutal, but certainly
you didn't want me to add the disco ball.
He likes to bring that up a lot. There are a lot of things in the game that I thought were the worst ideas, and then we debuted them at conventions, and people lost their minds.
The disco ball.
The disco ball.
The disco ball being, I was like, please don't do that. Like, it takes away from the tone of the game. It doesn't fit aesthetically, really, with the rest of our models. Like, I was really, like, I went in full producer mode on that one, and he was like, well, I think you're wrong, and I'm going to put it in, and you'll see everybody's going to think you're dumb. And everyone did think I was dumb. So I had to yeah, I just had to eat shit for a while on that one and just see everybody at conventions. And then he would on purpose, like, I'm showing somebody the game and he'd be like, hey, do you guys want to see something cool? Here, let me show you how to get this disco ball. And I'd have to sit there and be like, so this is our disco ball and it shoots lasers and, that's so cool.
It makes people happy.
Yeah. But
where's my disco chainsaw?
I remember you wanting one, and to be fair, a melee weapon is really high on the priority list.
Yeah, that's what I would. Yeah,
chainsaw. So
melee weapons.
Let's talk. Yeah. Let's talk because I want to know what you have in mind for a disc. What about the chainsaw makes it disco?
No, it was just a spinning whirl blade of death. And then chainsaw just came to mind.
Mm-hmm.
So it'd be like a laser chainsaw.
I'm visualizing it now. I'm getting an idea of what it is that you want. We'll do it.
It's a spinning blade.
There.
Melee weapons might not make it in for like the main release, but if that'd be like the first thing on my list to add post-release.
Yeah,
well, it's going to be handy for PvP.
Yeah, melee would. I feel like melee would be really good.
I think.
If you're putting abilities, if you're upgrading your sprint abilities, like if you have like a teleporter or some like a better sprint, I think because our game allows for that to
unlimited
be
teleport
modular,
to players,
something like that. Yeah, like because you can have technically a player who is faster than another player. I think that allows for melee. Shield was another one that I think we've had people suggest before. Something
I want to do like
a
a Halo style sort of shield that like comes back after. So just something defensive because right now there's no whole lot in the way of defense.
Yeah, we'll call it the totally not Halo shield. Something like that.
For some reason, I just had this sudden picture of one of the pills with like this little bucket on its head with like this cardboard shield.
That's what we
Just running
need. Yeah,
around.
a little like sword made out of toilet paper rolls, that sort of thing. The pills aren't permanent.
Those are temporary.
Pills are
for
yeah,
sure.
those are very much placeholders for.
Well,
we have the character model actually. It's just yeah.
Well, the first time that we played it, one of us was the little blue pill.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And they have their cute little smiley faces on it.
Oh, I like the smiley faces.
They're so cute. I do. We have a lot of people who want the pill, and
They need hats.
Might keep it as an option.
They need hats and name tags.
Somebody is telling us, a friend of ours, that hats are the future, and your game needs hats.
Hats would be if we wanted to do microtransactions or something, but I don't.
I do. I'm all about. Let them buy hats.
Hats and an eye patch. I need.
Or any kind of
one
beards,
of the little smiley faces,
like a beard or like a neat T-shirt or. Yep. The possibilities are.
You need like Twitch T-shirts for.
Yeah, because Rocket League does it. Rocket League has their Twitch like flags, like I can't remember which streamers have it, but a couple.
You could make Twitch one of the corporations.
We actually have to try really hard to make sure, because the corporation names are randomly generated, and it actually put two words together, micro and soft, and somebody saw that, and we were like, no, whoops, and like really had to backtrack that one. No, it was not our intention. And
I think it's no longer possible to get that combination. I think I got that.
But
well, we're gonna torture Christine for another 60
Please don't.
seconds.
I know what you're gonna do. Don't do it. Please don't do it.
Well, so you guys, in 2013, when your game had just come out, you guys won top 100 indie game from IndieDB.
Yes.
So we got this. This is on your trailer on your website, and this will teach you to update your website before you do it.
Yeah. All right.
So everyone knows.
This is me learning my lesson the hard way.
It's a bit outdated.
It is the most outdated. It's not a bit outdated. I don't see it, so I'm like excited. Like maybe it's broken and it's not gonna work. It's a sign that you just shouldn't show it to anybody. Oh my god. No reflections.
But this is pretty much
that UI.
But this is pretty much the game, though. I mean, really, it's more polished. But
it's so much more polished. Like just seeing this is so.
All right, so the game is wicked fast.
Yes.
Wicked fast. I can play it on my watch. It's really fast. And so the new sport here at my house is riding the shark.
It's kid show.
Shark surfing.
Shark surfing, yes. Which I think is the name of the achievement, is shark surfing, when you can do it. Hey, the website's still correct. At least I got that.
Yeah, I mean,
going for me.
That's still a really cool shot.
The buildings still look. It's just so.
The video's great. It's great. And,
I don't know why. I don't know why I didn't prioritize that in the budget the way I should have. Like I really just thought, like, well, it'll do, and then.
Well, we got to show your little. We have to show your award.
Yeah.
There we go. Here. There. It's awesome to like your first game out of the chute, and you guys are winning awards. Mm-hmm. And you've won more awards, as a matter of fact, and it's listed on your website.
Yeah, we were PC Gamer's one of their top FPSs
of 2015.
2015, yeah. So we really need to get on the 2016 award circuit pretty quickly. We kind of stepped back a bit too much. But yeah, that 2015 PC Gamer was huge for us. That was amazing.
It was a surprise too.
We didn't like. It wasn't the sort of thing that we like applied for and hope we got. Like they really just noticed us, and felt that we deserved that, and that was really cool. And we got I can't remember who it was. We were on their list of best FPS at PAX.
Oh yeah. I forget.
Yeah, I saw.
I forget who. I know we should know who it was that bestowed that.
It is listed. It's listed on your website, which I have
Is it really? I think I tweeted about it. I don't know how. This year's PAX. So then we do have a 2016 award. That was Best FPS at PAX South 2016. So
I swear we don't have that at all listed anywhere.
I don't think so. We haven't updated the press kit in a while.
Right. So here's this is the press kit section on your website. It's cool. Loved it.
This is more things that Christine has been neglecting.
Additional links.
I can't.
Credits.
See, that looks good. That's been really helpful when we do a lot of press. Just sending them like those images. I've tried to keep updated.
There are awards and recognition. Selection Best FPS Games of 2015 PC Gamer.
Yes,
that's epic.
The big.
That's
yeah.
epic.
So really. So the one from this year isn't on there.
Yeah, we used to buy like the physical PC gamers growing up with the demo disc on it.
Yeah, weren't those the best? Oh my god.
Yeah.
I wish we were still. I wish we could have been in the paper.
Yeah, that would have been amazing.
Paper magazine, been on a demo disc.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, I was a little older than that.
Like 8, 9.
Yeah.
Seeing them at GameStop or EB Games, I think, even then.
Oh, those are the ones that always had the discs mysteriously missing.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
I used to work at a bookstore, and any magazine that had a CD in it, forget about it. You never saw them again.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay, Confessions of a Game Developer. That's gonna be our next series. Wow. So, Cerullo, man, what's the next question you got on our list there?
The next question is, what is your previous game development experience?
None.
Yeah, basically nothing. I used to make little games on my calculator when I was in algebra class. Like we used the graphing calculators, and yeah, like my friends had a different kind of calculator than I did. So in order to get the same games as them, I had to print out the instructions. Not like here's how you put the game on. Like literally like int 3, like all this stuff, and like it was all the assembly, and I would type it in manually into my calculator. So that was my first experience with programming.
Yeah, I have no experience with it. I used to be a high school teacher, so this is all different for me. Yeah. So
Brave.
Which one?
Yes.
Westlake?
Akins.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Wow.
So yeah, and did that for a while, and so that was not at all what this is. I like this a lot better.
A lot more fun.
To be fair. Yeah.
Well, when I was in high school, we had to actually travel to Austin to play lacrosse because no one here played it.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
So we always went, okay, up and down.
Yeah. I know my school did not have lacrosse. I was not at a lacrosse high school. Just say that. But no experience, which I feel like it's made a lot of things difficult, but at the same time it's been beneficial in some ways to come in really fresh and like figure out the industry without any kind of like preconceived notions about it. Like I think that's helped us quite a bit. Like not really going in knowing what we're doing at all has been pretty helpful.
So,
Have you ever
Do you disagree?
So Jet,
Well, I mean, we've
Jet
tried to
Running
learn
Dog.
as much as we could.
Jet has a
Hi.
question for you guys.
Sure.
Oh yeah.
Okay, so about something that no one or barely no one knows about, I figured this out. So on the top of the in level 0 in the level 100 corporation,
Yes.
I found something out that you put. There is an item at the exact top.
Yeah.
What
there
made
is
you
a-
think of that?
Well, we had people that would jump up there anyway. Like they were like, "Oh, that's the tallest building, and I've got a jetpack. Why don't I go up there and check it out?" And they would get there, and there was nothing there at first, and they'd be like, "Oh, I thought I would get something for going up here," and so we had to add that there.
Yeah, we kind of wanted to reward people for. I think it's just kind of like.
It's hard to get up there.
Yeah, like so.
I couldn't do it.
Take the time, and before before our jetpacks were even very good, they used to be terrible. terrible items.
They were really, really good, and then they were terrible, and now they're just like pretty good.
Now they're okay. Now they're like standard jetpacks. But yeah, people would go up there anyways and kind of poke around, and then they'd be like, is there supposed to be something up there? Like, it almost feels like if you can go someplace, there should be a reason why you can go there.
Right.
So
it's called negative possibility space.
So adding on to about the item at the top, about the item in the shark. Is it the same reason why you thought of putting an item when you kill the shark?
Yeah, well, he's very difficult to kill as well, and yeah, that item right now it's very high level, and I think I should probably make it to where you can use it, or at least you can use it within the next couple of levels, because right now you get it and it's just like, cool, I'll be able to use this in like a month.
So I think you should add it, because I have almost a full inventory of level 100 items.
Oh wow!
Good job. We don't even have that in our inventory, so you're much better at this game than we are.
Yeah, that brings up that I need to be putting in a stash for people to hide extra stuff, so they can transfer it to other characters.
Yeah, the inventory space can get a little small if you don't want to sell your stuff. So, are you going to sell anything? Or are you going to keep everything?
I think probably sell some and keep others.
Good idea.
Fair enough.
Right. Yeah, go ahead.
Good questions. Good questions.
Oh, he's full of them. It's just nonstop. And then here's his hat that I wear when we play.
Oh my God, that's fun.
Well, see, so we were talking about we need hats for the characters in Black Ice. There you go.
I'm with you. With you on hats.
I just can't see this little pill on a peg leg.
Oh, good idea. Legs, hats, beans, arms,
legs?
shirts.
Just legs?
All the legs. It's just mod
just
legs into the
legs.
game.
Yeah, why not?
Well, I think the pill was a really good choice, to be perfectly honest, because I'm trying to figure out, so what are, as a character inside the net, I mean, what are you going to look like?
Right, yeah, that's
You're
we
like
definitely have, like, the possibilities are endless. Like, the character model we have is just like a girl, like a standard human.
Yeah.
She does have blue skin.
Okay, well, that's a
Because
plus.
you can look like whatever you want.
Yeah, because you can be, it's not really your... And that kind of gave us room to play with that might not necessarily be what she looks like outside of cyberspace. You'll never see her. We actually will never, ever show outside of cyberspace, I don't think. People have asked, like, are you ever going to show the real world in the game? And there's no reason to. That's not what the game's about. So, so yeah, definitely we have a lot of possibilities with how characters can look in cyberspace.
Have you thought about, selling skins? You got a store?
I don't want to do any microtransactions or the one thing I would think about maybe doing is letting people create their own content in the workshop and letting them sell that.
Okay.
Like, you know how Steam did for a little while? They had they had paid mods for Skyrim for a little while, and then everybody hated it because they were used to those mods being free, and then the same mods became for pay. Well, I figure, if there's no mods and then you let people make mods, and some of the mods can be free and some of them aren't, then maybe it wouldn't be so bad and people like it.
Well, I was asking because I'd want to be a Royale with cheese.
You could be anything you want to be in cyberspace. Yes, so somebody was asking in chat if the pills are getting switched out. They are. So we were saying a second ago, the pills are placeholders for when we put our character model in, which we have a character model, and she looks wonderful and she looks great. But the animations are
I'm not great with animations.
No.
Yeah.
Another thing on the to-do list.
The pills probably will be an option, maybe a secret option for multiplayer if you really want to look like the pills still.
So I think Devlin nailed it in his earlier comment. He says, not having any prejudices about the gaming industry, especially nowadays, must be a godsend for you guys. Everything I like about Black Ice is so not standard for the industry. It's refreshing. You guys could have just made another brown-colored FPS, but you didn't. If I was you, I'd keep on the track you're on, and I totally agree. We played the game a lot on our Morning Brew show, and absolutely love it. It's fabulous. It's
you.
fun. It's silly. And my favorite part, of course, I talked about earlier, was reading all the wonderful stories, the backstory.
All right.
Yeah. Oh, thank you. Yeah.
Yeah, he's sitting there reading them, and we're sitting there, no, fight!
Stop reading. Yeah, and that's I think you missed when we were talking about that
Yeah.
it's two very different camps of people who want to read everything and people
Right.
who don't. And just for what I've been trying to do with the games, finding the happy medium. And I think right now the lore that we've introduced with the items you find, so the information that you can read, and you can read emails from an employee to another employee, or I think we have a lot of like customer service reports, or all kinds of really just quirky little things that if you're in the camp of I want to know more about this universe, you can read them all. And if you're in the camp of I don't care and I just want to hack things, you can sell them. And so keeping it really optional and not shoving story down people's throats, which is something that I don't mind. Like, I love a good narrative game and a good story-driven game, but that's not what this game is.
Right. They're never going to be unskippable cutscenes.
Yeah, none of that. The idea that I've been playing with for
We all thank
the
you.
quests is for the quests is having even the main story be optional. So you can play with the main story and do all the main quests once we have them, or you can just run around and hack whatever you want. So.
And future direction of the game?
So we have a story fleshed out, sort of. I personally have
More
an
like
idea
outlined
of-
than fleshed out,
I
right?
think it's a little bit more fleshed out in my head, anyways. Of what we like. We know we have our character Mako, who she's on our poster, and we have her character model. So we have her already. We have our main character, and so the main plot line will be her story, and what she's doing in cyberspace. Why is she hacking? What's all that good stuff. So that's kind of the direction we're headed with, and having that story, and then how do we take that and make quests and make them fun and make them
Right.
different.
And maybe the side quests won't always have any bearing on the main.
Yeah, it's
plot.
we also are talking about or working on doing procedurally generated side quests.
Yes.
So
with
if you want
non-decimal.
yeah, so if you want to do that instead of the main story, it'll always be just a fresh, like just a really quick one-off quest, like do this and then here's your loot, or do this and then here's an item, or do this and here's money, something like that. So having those two story things that's the direction where the game's headed right now.
It's a lot of fun. Cerula had a bunch of questions. And I thought some of them are pretty interesting. Cerula, go ahead and hit your next one on the list.
It's actually not one of my questions, but it's the next one I listed,
Okay.
which is which games are some of your favorite games to play?
Like right now
Style.
or all time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's
Both.
okay. You want to go first?
Me first. My favorite all-time game is Dishonored, and I feel like I get a lot of crap for that because it's a more modern game.
It's-
Like
a lot of
people
people really like it.
once Garrett gets
Like-
to his answer, it's going to be like old retro games. But I don't care. I think Dishonored is the most amazing game I've ever played. Just it does what I hope to do with our game, which is play to its strengths visually, like be just different enough that it's interesting and that it's not just another FPS that you're playing. And story-wise, it was beautifully acted. I think the voice casting was incredible. The acting was incredible.
The art was great.
The story was just really unique and cool. The setting was really cool. I could geek out about Dishonored for the rest of my life. And if anyone from Arcane Studios is watching and wants to send me Dishonored 2, please, you don't know. That's my Google alert every day is when are we getting a date on that game? I need it. I went through and replayed it again. I did I challenged myself and did a full stealth, no lethality or whatever it's called. So I went the whole game without being detected and without killing anybody. and tried to
Ghost Run.
Yes, I did a Ghost Run. Thank you. So that was one of my most recent playthroughs. But that game is just, for me, just perfect and beautiful. And I think The Last of Us came really close. It's certainly visually more beautiful, and it's a more powerful story. But for some reason, I think the gameplay, they crushed it with Dishonored. So that's my all-time favorite. Yours is?
Well, I mean, so two of my favorite games growing up were Quake 3 and Diablo 2. So Black Ice is kind of my attempt of combining those two into one game, with a little bit of Tron thrown in there. So I love all the loot. I love the fast-paced blowing stuff up, and yeah. So I love those things. I've been playing a lot of Overwatch lately. That game is so much fun.
Oh yeah, Overwatch.
That's like
I love that he says it's fun, and then I hear him from across the apartment
it can be
just
frustrating,
screaming and like yelling, and just it sounds like it's just
that doesn't happen to us.
No. Keep a
never.
cool head.
Like you can go around a corner and there's a bastion sitting there, like a guy that's a turret, and then he just blows you up. And, you shouldn't have gone around that corner.
But yeah, and like he was saying, the Diablo references or influences are definitely heavy in the game, especially our loot system.
Yep.
I would say, and everything being randomly generated, the affixes and the abilities and
one of the true story. One of the things that happened in our first multiplayer game was one of the guys had he had the hacking tool assigned to his push to talk button.
Oh no,
that's not good.
And so all of a sudden it was Jadam.
Oh.
And all of a sudden there's all these or his jump button. But the game was so much fun. It was insane. Literally, I think we were fighting 8 or 9 buildings. Our first game out.
Oh wow!
All those buildings, and it's fun. Your game is fast paced. There's a lot of variety because everything's randomly generated. There's so much variety and all the loot. So it's just a lot of fun. And
I'm working on increasing that. More buildings, more loot, all that stuff.
Keeping it still really easy and easy to jump into, easy to get used to, but adding more variety.
Right.
Okay, recall the picture of the ziggurats.
Yes. Yeah, those
are the new buildings.
Yes.
That was cool.
Those will be coming. They're not in yet, but I'm working
those
on
I had to
more perks,
put my producer hat on and police that a bit because he had buildings that looked like doorstops, it was just like a wedge. It looked like a little skateboard ramp, and he was like, "What do you think of these new buildings?" And I was like, "I think they're terrible, and then you need to get rid of them before we." It was right before PAX, so I was like, "You need to delete this before we go to PAX. These look terrible."
Practice.
Practice building.
You can make the skate ramp with a little thing in the middle.
Yeah, like a little half pipe would have been just as appealing visually.
I couldn't make the ziggurats without making the pipe or without making that because I had to figure out how to do angles because I'm generating the meshes procedurally now. So now you can still get those little ramp things, but they'll be part of another building. So it's never just a ramp. It's like a, with the big square attached to it.
Somebody in the chat is saying more perks.
Yes.
And definitely yes. That was fun, but really challenging to come up with.
Come up with more perks.
More perks. That was.
I loved coming up with the puns for them, though.
Yeah. It was sort of like it just became like this. The idea for perks kind of just consumed us, and it was the sort of thing where when you're in the shower, you're thinking about perks.
Yeah.
And when you're driving, you're thinking about perks.
Yeah, I might have brought that up a little too much.
All the time he brought it up, just hey, have you thought of any perks today? Could you write down any perks you think of? And I'm like, I'm not thinking of perks. I'm busy. And, it became we need to think of perks. So, do you know of any that you think would be cool?
Yeah, I have a bunch of them written down.
Yeah, we've got a list.
Are always welcome.
Yeah, please. We have
the Trello board.
Our Trello board for the game is public. So people can go and kind of see what we're working on. They can suggest things that they think we should be working on, or if they see, the link, you can probably type it out.
It's todo.superdupergc.com. Am I allowed to link in the?
You
probably
can do
not.
It, but go ahead and do it, and Carl will pick it up and repaste it.
Okay.
That's
Yep, I got timed out.
Deleted. Oh, embarrassing.
Yeah. Oh, and I'm sorry, chat. I want to answer every single one of your questions, but
I'm trying to look. I'm sorry.
If you've heard, the keyboard's super loud, so I can't really type.
I'm trying to audibly answer all your questions. Don't worry.
Well, next, this one my wife's an accountant, so not a developer. But how did you guys become a development team?
Well, he was working on it first,
and I spent way too much time on it.
Yes, and it was sort of like I need to get involved with this, just for my own sake, I guess. It sounds a lot worse than it was. I was trying to include you
the whole time, but you didn't want to initially. So.
So yeah, I saw that what started as a hobby for him was starting to get really intense. Like you said, the IndieDB thing. Was that what it was?
Yeah.
Came out, and so like we got a lot of attention very early for the game. A lot of people like streamed it, and that got picked up, and so it became a lot of really great and wonderful attention and press really early.
Right. And you don't want to lose momentum on those sort of things.
So it was just very much like, and he still has his 9 to 5, his day job. Yeah. So I absolutely had to come in and pick up the slack. It very much
became a second job.
Yeah, so. And I did not want that to consume him or me really. So I, it was like, okay, it was just basically at the time, what can I do to help? And it was something small, like, would you mind emailing so-and-so about this so that I can focus on this? And so I would, or okay, could you reach out to so-and-so and do this? And so then I would. And then eventually it was like, do you want me to do all of these emails? Yes. Okay. Do you want me to do all of these things? Yes. And so then,
quickly became his manager.
Yeah. I just kind of took over all the business stuff so that he could focus on development. And so then when we formed the company, that was when I officially took it on as my career.
How long have you been writing?
Writing for the game?
Clearly you've been writing for a long time.
I feel like that's such a... No, I don't write.
Really?
No, I wrote in college and shouldn't have
you were
probably.
In college.
No, like that's not. No, you're saying that word like with a capital P, and it was very much a lowercase p. Like, so I wrote on and off here in college and did things like that, and
that's published as much as Black Ice is published.
Sure, and so it became like with the game a need to like, hey, we're going to need story. And, I was an English teacher and I have an English degree. And so he was just kind of like, hey, you probably know how to do this. Can you do this? And so working on that.
You wrote the Mako story online?
I did a Twine game that was kind of like a precursor to Black Ice, just kind of giving backstory on who our main character is and what she's up to, that unfortunately never got finished because we moved back to Texas while I was writing that.
Yeah, it was just terrible timing.
Yeah, and so that kind of fell by the wayside, and it was hard to pick up on. With the writing, to be honest, I have been completely neglecting it because I've been so focused on running the business. I don't know if that's a permanent change I'm going to make in terms of not doing the writing anymore and letting maybe somebody else, I know, pouty face, take over. But as far as like in-game stuff, maybe I've been doing that for about a year.
You've been helping me the whole time.
Yeah, but in like really taking on writing probably started with Mako's story, which would have been about a year ago, a little over a year ago.
Yeah.
So what do you like more, writing or running the company?
Running the company, definitely. I'm better at it, I think. I feel like I'm just...
Honest answer?
Yeah. Like, and it's just, I feel like with writing, it's a harder thing to feel proud of and comfortable with because it's such like, it's an art. Like, and I don't...
You're so much better than you think you are.
Thank you. I don't consider myself like it's hard to be like, I'm a good artist, but I can look at my business and be like, I am damn good at business. Like I can see like when I set up interviews or when I, work with, our sponsors or partners and things, and I can see the fruits of that labor much more easily. Not to say that I'm like, I still get really like imposter syndrome-y and uncomfortable when people are like, hey, you're doing a really good job with your company. I'm like, no, I'm a nobody. But I'm actually like in that vein, I'm giving a talk at GDC next week.
I saw that. That's good. Congratulations.
Thank you. That's still unreal that I'm like, I'm like, oh, who do you want me to talk to? Like, why? But yeah, so I'll be doing a talk the Friday of GDC, doing a micro postmortem on Black Ice. So kind of showing other devs what we did right, what we did wrong, and that sort of thing.
Like a mid-mortem.
A mid-mortem, yeah, because our game isn't out yet officially. So.
Oh, where's the conference?
San Francisco.
San Francisco. Yeah.
So if you guys in chat are watching are going to be at GDC,
It'll probably
Friday
be on YouTube eventually.
at the Moscone Center. I think my talk is at 4:30 p.m., 5:30 p.m. But if you go to the GDC website and look at panels, you'll see me on there. I'm the last talk on the last day of GDC, so I don't know what that says, but
Well, you guys have a fantastic story. It really, so that's why we're grateful you guys are here to do an interview with us.
thank you.
Joe?
Yeah.
Question?
Oh, I got just the other what we have on our little listy thing here.
Yeah.
And I'm playing right now too. So. But no, I'm not.
I get a couple of
so
hacks
far.
in here and there.
Yeah, a couple.
Save
hacks.
the best for
Get-
last. Thank you. I like that.
Well, I guess the next thing on the list there was I guess one of my questions is I think you've covered a little bit already about what the primary goal was.
Mm-hmm.
I guess my question was, has it changed? Was there any major just we got to change
Design
something?
changes? Well, so if you've seen the starting platform in the game, yeah, when I initially started messing with Black Ice, I was doing a puzzle. The game was literally just a puzzle, and I followed a tutorial, and I was like, oh, cool. Now that I've got this puzzle done, like, hey, there's a first-person character controller, so now I'm standing on top of my puzzle and, like, walking around. And then I'm like, cool, I can put terrain down. And so then I did that, and I built up from there. So, the game kind of blew up out of that. And then, I was like, I want to experience hacking as described in, like, Neuromancer. And, for the most part, that's what I'm still going for. But then there are other considerations that you want to make the game feel as good as possible, and it doesn't necessarily have to be grounded in any of the cyberpunk mythology.
Yeah.
There's no disco ball in Neuromancer.
Mm-hmm. No disco ball Neuromancer. That's the pull quote for this interview.
There
No
is a guy
disco
that
ball in
shoots
Neuromancer.
holograms out of his chest, but like
Yeah. So sure, but and then I think that's the sort of thing that with writing I was struggling with, was like I was trying to keep it like really solidly cyberpunk, and because you also have to focus on what are our players responding to, what do they want from the game, and if it's things that aren't strictly cyberpunk or fit into that genre, we kind of have to do a little bit of a turn and do it differently. So yeah, it's been interesting to see the game shift.
Yeah, it's a little more lighthearted than most cyberpunk.
Yeah.
I'd say.
So I'm in the game right now, and here's the puzzle that you made.
Yes.
And so that was the first question from everybody's, what the hell is this?
Yeah, it's just an Easter egg. You can solve it. The blank spot needs to be in the same spot when you start as when you finish.
You can click on that thing? I didn't even know that.
Yeah, you can. So it's a sliding puzzle. So you can move the tiles around.
Yeah, and
just by left clicking.
The best way to do it is just unequip your weapon. Try not to stand on the tiles, and then get your calculator out.
Yeah, and the big trick is you can't tell what's top or bottom.
That's why I said you keep the blank spot in the same spot.
Oh, I see. That's what you're saying. Yeah. So yeah, just trying to put it in numerical order. But that was kind of like, that's what Black Ice was.
So this is all in binary, right?
Oh, yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. So my son is, he's been trying, he wanted to know what the hell this was.
It's a good opportunity to learn binary.
Yeah.
Well, that's exactly what I'm
thinking. It's a good life skill to have. Put it on your resume. I know binary.
I'll put it right next to Morse code for me.
Mm-hmm.
And
Pig Latin.
Binary is a lot more useful than Morse code.
Or was it more useful than Pig Latin?
No.
There you go.
Yeah.
What if you're using Morse code to type out binary?
Whoa.
Yeah.
Mind blown. Yeah. Try cracking that code.
Morse code kind of is binary.
Our game's looking pretty. Look at that.
Yeah, it is. It really is.
It does have a difficult time with streaming. Just the frame rates kind of.
Well,
because there's so much like the reflections and the particles, especially.
The frame rate's not an issue. Like when you're playing it on your computer, it's fine. The issue is that modern compression algorithms.
Right.
Yeah.
The compression algorithms are getting killed by this.
Yeah, like at the end of the Super Bowl when all the confetti comes down and the screen gets kind of
and
blocky.
Pixels. Yeah.
Yep.
Our game is end of Super Bowl Simulator 2016.
Yeah,
like
yeah.
that's just what we need to start calling it. Just
Always, there we go. There's the little blue pill. Who wrote the music for your game?
A guy named V Axis. He's
Yeah.
a German composer. There's a link in the game to his
soundtrack. Yeah, you can buy his soundtrack on Steam.
Yes.
From our
Oh,
page.
I saw that. I saw that.
Incredible.
I haven't bought it. I should have done that before the show.
Oh yeah. It's amazing the work that he's done for us, and we gave him just a little bit of direction, or you did, in terms of what you
I was
wanted.
just like, I kind of want a little bit of Nine Inch Nails, a little bit of Daft Punk, a little bit of creepy, and he did a really good job with it.
Yeah, he ran with it, and just the stuff that he delivered us.
I absolutely love the audio here.
Thank you.
And when it gets interesting when you start hacking a building. Of course, I can't see. You all saw my monitor; it's like 10 feet away, so I can't see what tools I have equipped.
You have a bunch of minions, 2 las guns, a healing item, and an icebreaker, probably a jetpack.
Oh, where's the icebreaker? Oh, there it is. Okay, so the shift key, right?
Shift.
Shift.
All right. Well, then.
So, fun fact, you can always hit Q, and no matter which slot your icebreaker is in, it'll hack.
Oh, good to know.
Nope. I'm not sure who that is. We got a friend.
Ticarius.
Hey, it's Tack.
Yeah.
He's a friend of the game.
He's in the stream.
Yep. No.
Toast.
Is this PvP or no?
Yeah, he's about to die.
No.
Oh no. Okay.
Oh wow. That server was really hard. That was.
Oh, the color draining when you die is very new.
Mm-hmm. Added that right before PAX.
Yeah, we did GamerX in San Francisco. Well, this year it was in San Jose, and for some reason it was just something that nobody had really brought to our attention before. But this convention, everybody was like, I can't tell when I'm dying. I don't know when I'm like, I just die, and then I'm like, oh, my health was low, and yeah, that needed to be fixed.
Because they've been spoiled by a lot of modern AAA games that put
they're
blood
being
all
coddled.
over your screen.
Yeah, and and your HUD is glitching out, or your visor's cracking, like those sorts of visual cues that for me was just cocky and was like, well, we don't need that. Like, just look at your health bar; it's right there. And then I realized after the 13th person at GamerX was like, this is really hard to know when I'm dying. I finally told Garrett, okay, maybe we need to fix it. And I think it's great. I think it's one of those things that why didn't we do that sooner?
Yeah, I should have.
Lucas, welcome to the show, man. From Ukraine, wow.
Yay!
Here's a question. The addition of all those extra visual styles, like VGA and line...
That's all. I'm scooching out so he can answer. More things that I was like, no, please, delete, and then people love it.
Yeah,
that's the first thing Joe did.
Yeah. So, I mean, the important one is photosensitive mode, right? Because there are people that have issues with the difference between all of the colors, and so photosensitive mode tries to reduce the amount of and then like low particle mode reduces the amount of strobing effects that you get, so people that have epilepsy or similar issues can play the game for longer periods of time without experiencing discomfort. But then once I added that, I was like, oh, it's really easy to add these other things, and so I added 1990 mode, and then I added a couple of other things.
CRT mode.
And to be fair, that took very little development time. But I agree.
That's his favorite way of getting out of me complaining about stuff that I don't like. He's like, well, it's not going to take that long at all. It's going to take a couple minutes. Those are a couple minutes that can go towards our UI.
It's true.
Because our UI is so bad.
Yeah, I mean, the rest of the game is eventually going to look like what the main menu looks like now.
The main menu is new, and I feel like it's very obviously the newer part of our game.
I mean, it's shiny.
We fell in love with the game immediately, and as soon as we got into our second or third stream with this, well, the ideas or recommendations, things we wanted to ask you, and suggestions we wanted to make, were just flowing rapidly. Cerula's got a lot of them. He's got some burning questions there.
We can try to answer questions faster if we need to get through some.
We got another 15, 20 minutes is good. We got a late start, so I'm flexible.
You want me to ask a question?
Yeah. Well, the questions about the gameplay and stuff related to zombie.
What are some of the gameplay elements that you plan to add?
So yeah, more perks, more ways for the player to specialize their character in ways that, as you know, the perks are permanent, so you have to create new characters, and I want you to specialize and try new things, and build your characters out differently. So that's a big focus. There are going to be more separations. Yeah, the gets fish popped him in the air.
You'll land eventually.
Yeah. I'm working on ways to make the world feel more like a place, and so that means more different types of buildings, more barriers that you have to get around in certain ways. Like there might be a firewall that you have to get through in order to get to certain servers. And that actually, I have to build a lot of tech to get that to work, so just to make sure that you can't, like, for instance, just teleport right through the firewall, because there's a teleporter in the game, and it's tricky, and you have to have a roof on those areas because players have jetpacks, and it's tricky.
My son spends no time on the ground whatsoever.
That's
just bouncing
valid
around.
strategy.
Yeah, that's a great way to play.
Honestly, it's why I need to nerf the jetpack again. Didn't tell him.
Yeah, keep that on.
He's gonna be heartbroken.
Yeah, he'll find out the hard way.
It won't be that nerfed, but the enemies have to be able to get to you somehow. It's either that or I have to add like.
And before, even when enemies couldn't climb well, and
yeah, they're much better at climbing now. I want them to be even better though.
Yes.
Yeah, like enemies. Yeah, I want to have just more building shapes and that sort of thing. So yeah, the whole quest system is going to be a thing. I do want to do melee weapons eventually, but yeah, better pathfinding. Those are the big things.
Wow. Okay, so I'm seeing. So when was the last update to the game?
Right after PAX, actually. So oh my God, somebody brought in cats.
I've never seen these before.
You see? Yeah,
okay.
I
think TAC is cheating right now to show off different things.
But at least now you get to see the cat, because we were talking about how rare they are.
That's cool.
That is, wow, that's epic.
What do they do?
They're not animated.
Yeah, they're supposed to be. We promise. They're supposed to paw around.
Yeah, they run around.
I don't know why they're just scooting. They look like gummy bears.
So will that be an update?
Maybe not the best possible
cat?
way of showing off our cats. Then never mind.
Yeah.
Like they're moving across the carpet in the living room. That's nice.
Exactly.
Oh, sleeping. Oh,
that's bizarre.
Now, will the pets battle each other?
If you're in PvP, yeah, totally. Yeah.
That is brilliant.
That's cute.
No, they do have some animations.
So who makes the character models for the pets?
So those have a lot of different sources, actually.
The most came from the Unity Asset Store.
Yeah, some of them.
Yeah, and then I think you can speak about.
Yeah, the spiders came from the Unity Asset Store, and then so did the cat. But I stretched the spider's legs in order to make the pop-up ones, the ones that jump at you. I made those thinner and leaner. Some of them are custom though, like the Ghost and the Shellfish is probably the best one. And that one was made by a guy named Ed Delviller, who is a really great Australian guy. And the Scorporation was made by another friend of mine, whose name escapes me right now. Very nice guy. It's in the credits.
Yeah.
I didn't just forget. The shark.
That's a shark.
There's also somebody here called Plague of Cuddles.
That's adorable.
That's Darius's hack character with all his cats, I think. If I had to guess.
Oh my God. So this is where my son would jump on and ride the shark around. Absolutely brilliant. his inventory is full of level 100 items. I think he's only level 46 now.
Oh my gosh.
Wow.
Yeah, one of the changes I need to make is making sure that if you get an item, it shouldn't be so high level that it takes you too long to equip it.
Yeah.
Any guess as to how many hours you put into this game?
I didn't write it down, but it's a lot. Too many?
Too many.
Too many is probably a good number.
Yeah. Yeah. If we're being honest, yeah, too many.
All of them?
Yeah, it turns out
Yeah.
making games takes a long time. And I didn't know that very much before I started, but yeah.
That poor shark.
Look at them.
There's like a cat on top of the shark.
Yeah.
Oh. What are those rocket?
So, Tack hacked his. So you can mod your saves, and so what he made is a homing rocket launcher with very slow projectile speed. So it just looks cool. So
Wow, this is epic, man. This is stuff we've not seen before.
Yeah, well, I mean, they're cheat items, basically. But it's interesting because when people come up with cool stuff like that, it makes me think about adding them to the base game. So that's one of the reasons I like when people mod the game.
Now, so this is the whole game's first person. So, any plans to add a third person? Or
No.
Roll the camera back.
Yeah, no real plans for that. It would.
How about
Too much would have to change.
How about a mirror on the building so I can at least see my character occasionally?
That yes, probably something like that. I want to add like have the news corporations have like TV screens on them with like either advertisements or like maybe if you start hacking, they have got a camera on you, and so it's just you running around. And I think that'd be fun.
Oh, excuse me, sorry. And I was yelling at you for yawning earlier. My bad.
It's okay.
No, yeah, definitely. I'm big on seeing. We've been playing Minecraft because we've been watching all the Stampy Cat videos.
We were talking about before the show started. Yeah, we were talking about Stampy. Yeah.
And so that like just watching all those videos, I was like, we should play Minecraft again.
Yeah.
And I don't like that I can't see my skins. So like we just bought the Greek mythology pack. And so I have like these really cool Greek mythology skins, and I don't get to see them. Like if I walk in front of Garrett's character, I can see it on our split screen. But so yeah, I get that desire, that need to see how cool you look.
This pack of wildcats doesn't kill that shark.
They'll paw at him until they get the job done.
Oh, that's epic. The game is an absolute blast. Cerula, what's some more questions you got?
Yeah, I was wondering, you currently as a player, you are in full control of which servers you can hack.
Yes.
Do you plan to change something so that you actually have to make choices based on what you want to do or what you have to do or achieve?
Yes. So there's a lot of different ways that I want to do that. I want to make it more of an interesting choice which server you hack as opposed to just the level. So right now the color of the server represents what kind of enemies spawn, but they all essentially have the same loot table as long as it's the same item level. What I want to do, I'm thinking about having different servers have different types of loot, if not just like you can only get certain things from certain servers. Maybe not that, maybe it's just more likely to drop certain types of items than others. So if you were looking for a specific thing, you might want to gear up to fight that other sort of thing. So I mentioned firewalls as well. So like you'd have to hack certain servers in order to get over to other ones. So you might need to pass like a skill check in order to go to a different area, that sort of thing. Quests will also be a really big way of encouraging you to hack one server over another. And then just more server types, like there's dark servers now, swarm servers. But also I want to add servers that are linked to each other. So if you hack once, you have to hack both servers at the same time in order to hack either of those servers.
That's a good idea.
Which really, I got that idea because I want to tell people in the tutorial that you need to know that you can multi-hack. So I was like, well, how do I force them to multi-hack at least once? And I was like, well, I can make this mechanic. And I was like, well, if I have that mechanic, I might as well put it in the rest of the game too. So yeah, I think it'll be fun. And then maybe when you're fighting both of these at once, they won't attack each other like normal two servers that aren't allied with each other.
The game is it's just so insanely responsive, and of course it's the graphic choices you made. I love the reflections of the pets, and you see them on the buildings themselves have reflections as well now.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's the reflections are. It's actually doing ray tracing, so and that's why if the game doesn't run well for you, the first thing you should do is turn off the reflections. They're very very expensive, but they're worth it, I think.
Oh, yeah, adds a really nice feature.
Thank you. Yeah, and yeah, so with the art style, I tried to do something that I could do myself without having to hire an artist, and it fit the aesthetic, and yeah, just keep making small improvements over time.
Joe, you got some. Joe, you gave me a list of questions for these.
Yeah, some of them have already been covered.
Okay.
Developing. Yeah, let's see. Oh, here is one. How does being married affect the development process? I think we've seen a little bit of it tonight.
It makes it hard. It does.
Yeah.
There are definitely times when I worked on the game way too much. Didn't spend enough time with Christine, and yeah, it's tough.
Yeah.
It really is.
But it's yeah. Yeah. I mean, there have been benefits. I mean, it's not all doom and gloom. There have been good things. I think it helps, especially just living with the person you work with. Things are less likely to get forgotten about in terms of like tasks you need to do. So I feel like just because we're around each other, it's not like you're waiting on an employee to come in to work the next day to be like, hey, I need you to do this, or hey, did you remember this? Like it can be, getting ready for bed at night, and it's like, oh, by the way, we need to get this convention set up, and okay, let me do that right now. Or
right.
That sort of
In my house, that conversation is: did you take out the trash? Have you done the dishes?
Yeah. See, we've replaced all that with: have you emailed Razer about keyboards? It's a different world now.
Yeah, it's a scary thing though. I mean, it's good that I have the day job, so we don't have to rely on the game to eat. Because if we did, we might end up like. Some people I've heard, we heard another game dev couple give a talk, and they were saying that they don't take weekends, they work on the game,
all the time.
Yeah,
and that they're just very lucky that their youngest is starting daycare soon, so that they can focus more on work while the kid's in daycare, and that's not at all what we want. But it is hard to turn off. It's hard to say this is when I stop developing. This is when I stop working on the game.
You guys you're in the sweet spot right now, so make the most of it for sure.
Yeah. Oh, real quick, I really want to answer this. Somebody said that have you guys taken into consideration any kind of VR support? Absolutely not. We
tried
did.
It. We did.
We just jumped on that bandwagon really early on. I bought him a dev kit for the. What are you doing?
Well, I'm getting freaked
okay.
out. So, yeah,
I bought it. It's just the loudest.
Sorry.
Crunch. I bought him the dev kit of the Rift and was like, here's what you have, here's what you can do with it.
It's so noisy.
Oh my god, it was the worst experience. It was just like, if you really want to vomit in the next 30 seconds, try playing Black Ice on VR. And we do a lot of, they have a list of things like, do not do this in your game if you want to do VR, and we do all of them. Walking backwards is the big one that you really want to limit how often you walk backwards in a VR game. And
one of the simple things is you don't want to have to turn your head very much to look around.
Yeah, you want a game that's a little bit more on rails, and not to say that there aren't first person shooters out there that are doing it, but they don't have the movement style that our game kind of pushes, which is walking backwards, that run and gun, very quickly walking in circles.
Right. So a corridor shooter would be much more suited for VR than an arena shooter.
Yeah. I don't think you're updating there that it's a fad. I don't think VR is a fad. I actually really love it for some things. For everything, no. And I think that
it's just like when phones came out.
It does certain things really well. I think it does games on rails really well. I love any kind of We did a bunch of horror on rail games,
God, yeah.
just with VR, and that just is such a cool experience that you're not going to get without VR. Like, you're not going to get it if you don't have the headset. We did one that you're just in an elevator, and it's opening, and every floor is like a different like thing, and it gets creepier and scarier, and and that was so cool. And it was like, that was perfect for VR because you don't need to run around, you don't need to shoot at anything. Like, it's an experience. And so I think VR is really good for experiences. I like doing roller coaster simulators. I like doing outer space, like just like flying around the galaxy stuff.
Yeah,
if
you're
this
piloting
Black
or
Ice,
driving something. Yeah, but
Black Ice new. No. Yeah.
That's where vomit comes from.
Yeah, exactly. And it's this sort of thing, like VR is in the back pocket. Maybe, we thought about, or at least you kicked around the idea of doing maybe a VR game in the Black Ice universe. But that's
some
like
sort of spin-off.
That's like, we're not even close to thinking about what comes next. Like, we're still so focused on this.
I wouldn't want to change the game just to make it work for VR, because then it wouldn't work as well for non-VR.
Yeah. And it's picking and choosing. Like, you can't put it on every platform. You can't, you can't please everybody.
Does your day job suffer from the time you spend working on Black Ice?
I try really hard for that not to happen. I do spend most of my vacation time going to conventions,
which our parents are not happy about.
Yeah, it leaves a lot less.
time for Christmas and
for actual vacations. And
yeah, we had to force ourselves recently to take our first actual vacation since we started developing, because all of our vacations have been doing PAX East in Boston or going back to California and doing this.
And that's not healthy.
That's not a vacation. Like, you're tricked into thinking it's a vacation because you're flying someplace and having fun, but it's work. It's a business trip. It's not a vacation. So, but no, I don't think Garrett's day job has suffered. I think he's really good at his day job. So, proud. Yeah.
Any plans to expand your company?
Well, not until the game makes a lot more money.
Yeah, but, right now, like, I'm barely getting paid, so like, I don't want to have to worry about somebody else's well-being being attached to the success of our game.
Yeah,
like, that's
we do work with contractors to help with different things. But,
we have people who
nobody
are
else
involved,
can
but
full time.
When I was on your website and I saw that you had you gave some credits to several other people, so
yeah, our composer. James, who does a lot of our digital art, he did the logo. He's done all of our limited edition posters that we do for conventions. So he's been just an incredible asset to us. But yeah, no immediate plans to like hire somebody, which is weird, and it makes it feel oddly legitimate that I'm starting to get emails like, "Hey, I came across your company and I would love to work there. Here's my resume." And I'm like, "Oh, honey, like, no. Like, I'll pass it along to to other people, but yeah, it's not out of the realm of future possibilities." But.
Glad to hear that you're speaking at the Game Developers Conference. That's going to be
you.
That's huge, and
it'll be kind of like a.
That's I'm flying in. He's doing all of GDC. He'll be there.
Oh, okay.
I think you leave Tuesday, so you'll be there most of the week. I'm only coming in for the talk on Friday, so I'm flying in Thursday night, leaving Saturday morning. So for me, that's like definitely a work trip.
So are well, I was curious, the booth at PAX, I mean, these seem like fairly affordable because there were so many indie developers at PAX South.
In terms of it being affordable,
the Indie Mega booth makes it easier, a little easier at least.
Which there wasn't one at PAX, so that's kind of irrelevant. But
PAX South is the cheapest PAX, but they're not free. That's for sure.
And it's certainly not the cheapest convention we can do. But you want to do PAX. You want to. If you want to get seen, if you want to get the game out there. Yeah, and especially with PAX South existing now and it being so close to home, it's not a plane trip anymore to get to PAX, it's a drive. And that's, tremendous. Like we try really hard to focus on as many local things as we can.
So we're doing RTX later this year.
We just sent our application for that. We did RTX last year. We did PAX South last year too, the first year they did it. We're doing a smaller convention, Haven Con, here in April in Austin. And this year we kind of took a break from doing the really, like, we didn't do PAX East this year like we did last year. Just because moving back took a lot out of us.
I bet, yeah.
And, so we really wanted to focus on, like, okay, we're back in Austin. What can we do locally, with the Austin scene or just the Texas scene?
So nothing South by Southwest?
No South by. He'll be at
Well,
GDC.
it overlaps with GDC is the big issue.
Yeah.
And actually, surprisingly, to get a booth at South by is more expensive than PAX. So
Wow.
Yeah, they don't play. So, and then, just, I don't want to say anything negative about South by, but, talked to other devs about their experiences at South by.
It's a different crowd.
Yeah,
than
it's
you
definitely,
get.
it's free to the public. So you're gonna get a very different makeup of people who come to check out your game.
Well, how's the traction at the PAX events for your game?
Great.
You see big sales and spikes? I mean, big spikes in the sales?
Yeah, and then also just not
To
just
some
from
extent,
selling there,
yeah.
but also like we can see that people go home and tell their friends about the game.
Right.
Like, hey, I bought this game at PAX. You should check it out. And so that's really good. But with conventions, it's not.
It's more about getting people to know about it.
Yeah, it's definitely we treat it as like a press event.
What are all the sources places where we can buy your game? I know we all got your game on Steam.
Yes. So Steam's the big place that everybody knows about. It's also on the Humble store. So if you want to help charity at the same time as you buying the game, you can get it there. It's also on Indie Game Stand. Friends of ours run that place. It's cool. And then it's on itch.io, which that's the best cut for us if that's what you're going for. So.
Yeah, that's exactly what I was fishing for.
Yeah. So yeah. And you'll get a Steam key. So it's not like
all of these will get you Steam keys.
Your Twitch channel is Black Ice the Game, right?
Yes.
And how often do you guys stream?
I don't stream. It makes me really itchy and uncomfortable. But he does dev streams. So
I'll stream development of the game, or sometimes I'll stream related games. And I'll just be playing them. But
yeah, he'll tell me he's gonna stream development. He's like, well, in the meantime, I'm just gonna stream Overwatch. And then so it's just, you can just watch him play Overwatch, I guess. And
well,
talk
I
about
mean,
Black Ice.
sometimes I'm looking at it with the game developer's eye for, this is how they did this.
It's research.
Yeah.
He's researching.
It is.
What other games are out there? What's hot now? Yeah.
And I also will sometimes do. I used to do this a lot, but multiplayer Monday or Tuesday or whatever, where we get together and we all play Black Ice multiplayer and try the new changes. So that's always fun.
Oh, Tack wants to know what's in store for the next few major updates. Garrett, I'll let you.
So the ziggurats, the new building types, I'm trying to update the tutorial with the hack link that makes you hack 2 different servers at once. And if I get that working, I'll probably be able to get the hack link between multiple servers like normally, and then also probably maybe firewall sort of things. But that's I'm not sure exactly when that'll be.
Yeah.
When do you think we could see quests start to enter the game?
Also a very good question.
Throw that one back at me. It'll definitely be within this year. Just for my own sanity, I need to get it out there. I need to do it. So that'll happen. And we have Non-Decimal, a friend of ours, who's contributing stuff too, and so we'll have
he did
those,
some of the valuable
lore
information
items
drops.
He wrote some of those, so we have him also to contribute some quests, and he's the one he's working on the procedurally generated quests, like the side
and
quest
he makes
stuff,
some cool games in his own right. So
he's a really cool developer, so it's nice to have him to work with us.
So you do some networking when you're at these.
Absolutely.
Yeah,
that's good. That's good. So we're a little late here. So in the Netherlands right now, it's 3:30 in the morning.
Go to bed. Oh my God. I'm already
Cirilla, you got one more question before you head off to nappy time?
Yeah. I am very, very impressed by what you guys have achieved so far, especially knowing your background, no game development experience.
Right.
I have also did a little bit of game development, and I know it's really, really difficult. So I was wondering, what was some of the major difficulties for you in the development of the game?
Ooh.
Pathfinding is always an issue, especially like trying to get the enemies to climb up the buildings in realistic ways. I still don't have it as good as I want it. Multiplayer was a huge issue, and there's still little things that are trouble with that.
And that's the sort of thing where it's like, if I were ever talking to another dev about multiplayer, it would be a do as I say, not as I do sort of thing. Like that was really biting off a lot more than we can chew, and we were really lucky that it worked out so wonderfully. But it wasn't easy to get it there, and so I think that was definitely a huge.
Yeah, it's like making a second game. It really is.
Yeah.
We heard that from a lot of the other developers that we interviewed.
Yeah, just
the multiplayer was a tough nut to crack.
And it's the sort of thing where like you feel like you have to have it, because it's something that people expect and people want.
Yeah,
and
there are a lot of features that people expect, and it's like, it's just me. Like
that's also been the hardest thing, is like people. Yeah, every player has an expectation, and it's different from the player next to them, and so
it's kind of a requirement
really,
with an FPS.
Yeah, pretty much. You know, once you have that type of game, you're immediately compared to every other FPS, and it's like, well, your game doesn't have this, and your game doesn't have that, and why not, and when is that coming? And it's
So if you're a new dev, make a 2D game.
Yeah, just do a platformer like everyone else, and
do something easy
cash
first.
your checks.
Maybe not a platformer. It doesn't have to be a platformer. You can make something like Nuclear Throne or
right.
Papers, Please. Something.
Oh, yeah, just make one of the best indie games ever.
But
just go home and make Papers, Please. That's easy.
What I'm saying is mechanically simple, but
engaging. And I mean, but that's
and different.
But again, that's like saying like just go home and make something awesome. Like it's not going to be that easy. Like it's incredibly difficult to strike that balance of being new enough that people want to check you out, being easy enough that people can easily check you out, and you know, it's not easy.
Yeah.
It's not easy at all.
So during the development, have you ever like hit a wall and started thinking like, what have we gotten ourselves into? And
yeah, there was
how
a
did
crashing
you get
bug.
past it?
Yeah, there was a crashing bug that I had for a long time
and couldn't figure it out. Our Mac support, because we're on PC, Mac, and Linux, our Mac build was just for a while
there was
completely broken.
That was like less than a day.
But it still like felt.
Yeah, I didn't test it on Mac before I had updated some plugin, and it would work on the PC version, and it broke the Mac version. I had to figure that out.
Yeah, that was really stressful. I was in the office like on my computer, with my back to him, just like oh, it sounds bad over there, like just not gonna turn around, and a lot of screaming, a lot of yelling on your part. He was not happy. But got it figured out.
Yeah.
That's good.
What's going to be your next, or when would we expect to see a next project out of you guys?
Not until after this one's done, for sure.
That's like talking about your next kid before you gave birth to the first one. Like, it's just like, we're still pregnant. Like, don't, I can't even, like, baby 2, forget about it. I know you have ideas jotted down. I see
do.
him.
You know, I mean,
see him adding them to his phone. Like, well, this would be a cool game.
Yeah,
and I am immediately like, delete it right now. No, like,
okay.
No new games ever.
If I write it down, I've satisfied myself that I'm not.
That's enough. That scratches the itch enough that it's like it's out of your head.
That's a fair cop.
Yeah. Definitely have ideas. I think we've both kind of talked about.
Spin-off games,
something, an arena game, I think, was something you wanted to play with.
Something that would leverage a lot of the assets of Black Ice, so that
so it's not, so we don't have to start from zero, you know, on something new. We can kind of build off of what we already have, both in terms of assets and also just player base.
Yeah.
Well, wow, we're just amazed. We had a blast with the game. We still stream, we still play, we play all the time. Play a lot when we're not streaming, of course.
That's awesome. Thank you.
One of the cool things about the indie games is you get a lot of bang for your buck. The price on Steam is a bargain. It feels like a steal. I feel like I robbed Steam.
You feel like you hacked into something and stole it.
Yep, exactly. Yeah. You hacked in, you changed the prices. Yep. And that's That's been interesting too with
That's,
prices.
that's been the goal. You know, we started low and we've gone up as we've added features. You know,
Yeah.
kind of the way that Minecraft did it.
Yeah, and I think the price will go up eventually. I don't know when we're planning on raising the price, but we won't do it until we add
quests and
yeah, exactly. Like it's
features,
not
yeah.
an arbitrary like we feel like we want more money now. Like
Right.
we ask for what we put into it, that sort of thing.
Well, we want to thank you guys for coming on and doing the interview. Hope to see you again fairly soon. And of course, we tweet you guys every single time we play the game.
Yeah,
So
you guys played a
can-
lot, and it makes me so happy.
so that you can forward that to your circle, and it's a lot of fun.
I'll let you know as soon as we get a new trailer. You'll be the first to see it. It'll go right to you. So
Excellent. And real quick, here's just some info about them. Oh, and wow, got Pantera in the shot. Oh, how quaint.
I can't see anything.
So it's Super Duper Game Company, and your website is superdupergc.com.
Yes.
Black Ice the Game, and you're on Twitter as Black Ice the Game, on Twitch TV as Black Ice the Game, and where does the Super Duper come from?
Super Duper Garrett Cooper.
Yeah.
It's just it was just a fun name my friends used to call me, and I like to introduce myself to people like that just so that my name sticks in their head a little bit
I
better.
hate it.
It's dumb.
You didn't
dumb.
even have to ask. You guys know I hate it. I think it is the dumbest thing I've ever.
is.
I can't stand it.
It is
I
dumb.
hate when I watch him doing an interview and they're like, "We're here with Super Duper Garrett Cooper," and I'm like, "Don't." I mean, I want to be like, "Can you not call him that?" Like, but
people remember
everyone
it.
remembers it. Like we'll do a convention, people will come up and they'll be like, "You're Super Duper Garrett Cooper. I remember you from whatever," and it's like they remember it because
it's dumb.
Super Duper. Yeah, it's yeah.
Well, I was gonna take wagers. I've assumed your parents named you that, but
The first name Super Duper.
No.
Yeah, no.
Well, so you're co-founder, lead developer, and Christine, you've taken over the new role as CEO.
Yes.
And it sounds like you guys are thriving and you're on your way to where you need to be going with the game, and we're really excited about it.
Thank you.
Very much. So, folks, you can get this game on Steam, and what was the place that is the where you get the best cut?
Itch.io.
Itch.io.
.io. And that's on your website, so just be sure to check superdupergc.com, everyone.
I like Christine Cooper. That's good. We'll stick
That's
with
good.
That is good.
Well, everybody, thank you for tuning in, and wow, that wraps our first episode of Let's Talk Games. It's cool.
Awesome.
Good.
Thanks for
Be
coming.
excellent to each other.
Yes.
Be well.
Yes, please.